Street Fighter, I'm going to put under not the best, but would play again, just because I think the Mortal Kombat games of today are better than the Street Fighter games of today. And that's because Mortal Kombat hasn't really changed. Like, they tried to change, realized the fans wasn't really too into it, so they went back to their original formula. They just made it look prettier. And I know Street Fighter's kind of done the same, but Mortal Kombat's original formula feels more fluid to me than Street Fighter's. Now, don't get me wrong, I played the shit out of Street Fighter 2 Turbo. One of my favorite fighting games of all time. I just think Mortal Kombat's a better fighting game, and not even by much. And what's funny is my favorite fighting game character of all time is in Street Fighter. Yeah. Anyways, great fighting game franchise. Far Cry franchise, not for me. I've bought 2 of their games. I make it about halfway through and I get bored. It's just not for me. Kane and Lynch, never played. I can't judge it. I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, man, you've never played Kane and Lynch. I own one of them, I think. It was given for free to me. Kingdom Hearts, I'm putting under worth of playthrough. I may rank that higher once I play through the rest of the series. I've only played Kingdom Hearts 1, and I did that. That was the first thing I ever streamed, was the first Kingdom Hearts game, and I raged like a motherfucker. And I think that's why I never went back to play the rest of them, was because there was a point where it made me so mad I wanted to just quit playing it and not come back to it. But I pushed through. I beat the 15-stage boss, and that's an exaggeration, I know. But dude, that final boss fight alone with all the different stages that you have to fight them, I think took me 2.5 to 3 hours. And that's too much. But, I mean, it was good. Don't get me wrong. If I play through some of the others and it gets better, I would rank that higher. But for now, that's where it's going to go. Sleeping Dogs, I never played it. Just looked like another Grand Theft Auto wannabe to me. FIFA Street, not for me. It's another sports game, another soccer game, really. As a matter of fact, it's funny. They don't have Madden on here, but they have the FIFA games. Anyways, the Lego franchise, this one's hard for me to judge because it depends on the Lego game. It does. It depends on which Lego game we're talking about. There are some Lego games that I just don't care for the theme, but then you've got like Marvel and Batman and Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, even though you can't technically buy Lord of the Rings anymore unless you buy a used physical copy. Excuse me. But then they're like city games I think are silly and not even worth playing. And it's great for just sit back, relax style fun. I do plan on eventually streaming through a couple of the Marvel games, maybe the Batman ones. It's fun for just goofing off. So I'm going to put it under worth of playthrough. It would go in between worth of playthrough and not the best, but would play again. Like I said, it just depends on the franchise for me. Just Cause 2. Just Cause is another one of those game series I've never played just because it looks like another Far Cry ripoff, which was really just, I don't know. I don't really get into those games, I guess, those style of games. League of Legends, felt like I wasted my time. When you get on a game and you try it, and within your first 3 matches that you've ever played, you're told, quit playing, scrub, you suck, you're causing everything to be worse. Like, it has the most toxic community, and at that point, it's not even worth playing, dude. If every match you're going to get into until you start getting better, you're just going to get cussed out for being bad because you're learning a fucking game. If you're taking games that serious and you're cussing out people like that, you need to find a new fucking hobby. Yeah, find a new fucking hobby, dude, because if you're taking it that fucking serious, you've got some serious fucking issues. Anyways, just don't be an asshole. It's not hard to not be an asshole. Mario, that definitely goes in best of the best. That's hands down. Mario Odyssey is one of the best games I've played in the last fucking 6 years. Super Mario Bros. 3 is still my favorite Mario Bros. Game of all time. Super Mario World is right up there amongst the top 3 with that and Odyssey. I love Mario. Mario Maker 2 is getting ready to come out. I may not be able to afford it, but I'll find a way to get it at some point, probably by the end of the year. But Mario, it's Mario. You know what you're getting into. If you've played a Mario game before, you've played all the Mario games. They just add a little bit, take a little bit away. It's Mario. I love it. It's very straight to the point. Mega Man, I'm going to put under not for me. I know a lot of you guys are going to be a little disappointed with that, and I only put Mega Man under not for me because again, it's another game series I'm not good at. I'd probably rate it higher if I went through and tried to play them and at least did a little bit better than the last time I tried to play them. They're not bad games. I'm just bad at them. And that's the only reason it's not worth a playthrough for me, because I just end up frustrated. And I don't like to be frustrated. Minecraft is in between felt like wasted time and not for me. I'm going to put it under not for me because there was a period of time I loved Minecraft. Me and a buddy had our own little server that we were running around on, creating a little Viking village, and I actually had working gallows in it. It was really cool. But there came a point in time where I looked at Minecraft and like, literally all I've done is create things. I don't like the survival aspect of it, but all I did was create things. And it eventually got to the point where I was just tired of creating things. I wanted to play a game with some story, with some elements of things that pull me in. That wasn't it. 2K Sports would go in between worth a playthrough and not for me. And the reason why I say that, I'm going to put under worth a playthrough just because I love 2K's basketball games. I love 2K's football games back when they had them. EA owns and runs EA runs NFL games now. But 2K Sports had my favorite football game of all time. I think it was the last one they were able to do is NFL 2K 5 or 6. I think it was 5. Had Terrell Owens on the front of it, if I remember correctly, but he was playing for the Eagles. But I mean, their sports games are pretty solid. Pro Evolution Soccer, again, not for me. It's a sports game. Pokemon, not the best, but would play again. The reason why it is not the best, it would be the best. It would be at the top tier for me. Right up there with all these amazing games you see up at the top. Pokemon would be at the top if it wasn't for one thing. I understand you're about to be over 800 Pokemon with Sword and Shield when it comes out. But I also know when you put out Sword and Shield, because you've done it with the last few main entries in the series, you're going to make it to where there's some Pokemon not available at all. You're going to make it to where some Pokemon you can't get unless you go to events. You're going to make it to where there's some Pokemon that's just, other than enemies having them, they're just not going to be in the games, period. And I think that's fucked up. And the reason why I think that's fucked up is because when your main tagline is gotta catch them all, and they're not even all available to catch, even through trading, like there's just the last couple of iterations of Pokemon, there were just some Pokemon that weren't in the fucking games. And why? Why? Because there's too many? And they don't make Game Sharks anymore. You can't just plug something in to fucking force a character into a game so you can catch them and use them. But man, is Pokemon so much fun. Portal. I'm going to put Portal under not for me. Only judging off the first game. People made a huge thing about Portal. They were talking about how much it was great, how amazing it was. I bought Portal for like $3 on the Steam store. Which was one of the games I learned to play keyboard and mouse on. Go figure. One of the harder, like, precision games is what I played keyboard and mouse on. I bought Portal on PC earlier this year. I streamed it. I beat it. And, I mean, I finally got to play the game where one of the most famous gaming taglines of the cake being a lie is... I finally got to play it, and I was not impressed. Gameplay-wise, I was not impressed. I just wasn't. And I love puzzle games. But as far as puzzle games go, I've played better. I own one that was better. The Talos Principle, I think, is a better puzzle game. I do. Has a much better story to it, too. Now, eventually I'll buy Portal 2 and give it a shot. I hear Portal 2 is much better, and Portal 1 was more of like a mod off of Half-Life 2. So I'd be willing to play through Portal 2 to see if it's any better.